topic, in fact, which was given to me to talk about for today is significance of regional stability for prosperity of the Central Asia. Since I have been traveling for the last over 1 week, I have not been able to focus on the subject. However, I have prepared some points and I will share with you. There is no denying General Jafri, Excellencies Mr. Furqat Siddiqov, Mr. Sher Ali Jono, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. There is no denying the fact that peace and stability is prerequisite for prosperity. In the region and in the world over, it is therefore important that the nation must strive to achieve peace and stability and to also help and cooperate with each other to achieve this objective. For peace, prosperity and development in the region, peace in Afghanistan is also very essential. It is therefore important that the regional countries, in collaboration with Pakistan, work together to achieve this objective. Stronger regional cooperation yielding to the multifaceted integration of the Central Asian states, especially Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, is the only viable avenue to achieving political stability, stimulating economic growth, and reinforcing the notions of democratic sovereignty. According to experts, if no efforts are undertaken in this direction, the region will stumble and be relegated to being a marginal player, a vulnerable conduit to a strategically important part of the world. Hence, integration is the most important thing to be achieved for advantages and overcoming of obstacles. The main question that I seek to answer is why regional integration is so important for Central Asian states. The answer to this, I have explored the main drivers which emphasize the indispensability of regional integration and provide a common ground for an intimate relationship between the Central Asian states. These factors can be divided into historical, cultural, security-related issues, etc. First of all, the Central Asian people are bound by common heritage, the unitary nature of their history and religion, traditions, customs, values, way of life. The facets of this civilization are identical. Commonality of civilization is a requisite for the stable and progressive development of bilateral and multilateral relations throughout the region. It's a significant motive force that consolidates regional initiatives and tempers the volatility in the regional political process. The second problem in the way of regional integrations are the potential integrators that can be part of the solution as well. These include boundary issues, amicable water management policies, and the use of regional transport and communication networks, the joint nurturing of the environment, and so on and so forth. But there are grounds for optimism as well. On the one hand, the aforesaid are the real obstacles for regional integration, widening the gap between the national policies. On the other hand, there are also integrators as well, fostering cooperation in the formulation and implementation of national strategies and priorities for the Central Asian states. Regional countries are objectively interested in the effective regulation and formulation of policies for addressing these issues, which can be accomplished only through regional cooperation. In other words, these inhibitors actually go on to afford a common ground for a growing, vibrant relationship to emerge at the regional level in the future. There are non-traditional and non-conventional threats as well. The cross-border character of these threats encourages the countries in the region to undertake synergetic efforts to combat these menaces. But when it comes to assessing the importance of mutual security efforts in terms of regional stability, integrative tendencies and mechanisms are key to the establishment of a regional security systems. The national security and internal stability of regional countries are also very important. The idea of complex security must be a priority on the agenda for policymakers in every country of the region. Fourthly, a potentially important integrator is the synergic cooperation of Central Asian nations in reviving Afghanistan's economy and ensuring its long-term stability. This entails the consummation of many regional projects, from development to an elaborate and advanced transport and communication network to the joint prosecution of the campaigns against illicit trafficking, global terrorism, and amicable water management. Afghanistan is very much a part of Central Asia and therefore a participant stakeholder in the notion of complex regional security. Hence, ensuring the direct involvement of Afghanistan in the ongoing regional process is vital to the positive outcome of regional integration and cooperation within Central Asia. The Central Asia is rich in natural resources. This implies that the countries in the region need not totally rely on outside imports of raw material for their economic well-being. The technological of raw materials for the technological and human resource potential, as well as the social infrastructure, the healthcare, education system is well developed within Central Asia. In terms of education, Central Asia is one of the better disposed regions in the world. The region is home to a fair number of highly skilled and low-cost workforce that in due course will be fountainhead for increased visibility and resonance of the region. Sixthly, unless the countries of the Central Asia make a concerted mutual effort towards integration, they will continue to remain weak players, both individually and in terms of their regional significance. It goes with the territory that an effective integration movement is the strongest response to geopolitical and geostrategic challenges in Central Asia. A major redeeming factor has been that the nations of the region have not been steeped in any kind of historical rivalry and bloody ethnic wars. There are no historical territorial claims or lingering issues between them that can seriously impact the march towards regional integration. The regional integration is a facilitator for foreign investment as well. Economists and investors argue that economies of the Central Asian states taken separately are too small and limited to attract the interest of foreign investors. Only by uniting to create a large economic space would they be able to engender an abiding attraction in the investor fraternity and ushering in much needed investment. It is important to emphasize that the region was, historically speaking, a unified market during the Soviet period, and even in the Central Asian Khanates, regionalism was the underpinning variable of economic relationship in the region. In addition to the above mentioned integration points, Central Asian republics look forward to partnering and participating in the China Economic Corridor, that is CPEC. However, there is a strong need to provide a clear way forward, and detailed deliberations are yet to be defined as how they can play a constructive and meaningful role in CPEC as well. Pakistan has transitioned from a crisis economy to a stable economy, achieving stable, sustainable economic growth while mitigating social inequality was the priority of the government. Almost 66% of our population is under the age of 30. We have the challenge of finding skills, education and jobs for the young. This can be a factor for instability should these challenges not be addressed. We know that a politically and economically stable country is better able to defeat militancy and terrorism, as well as create conditions that can make it inhospitable for violent extremism to flourish. Increased regional stability could have a stabilizing effect for ongoing domestic efforts. And Pakistan had committed itself to supporting the reconciliation efforts in Afghanistan and was working towards normalization of relations between India and Pakistan. Pakistan remained committed to the nuclear non-proliferation. It also accorded high priority to building regional cooperation. Increased regional economic cooperation and connectivity could further contribute to the wider national stability. With its nearly 200 million citizens population and as the seventh most populous nation in the world, Pakistan had a key role to play at the international level. As the world's second largest Muslim state, Pakistan has a critical and influential voice in the Muslim world. Pakistan has been very active diplomatically since its inception in the 50s and 60s in the decolonization process at the United Nations and elsewhere. Its commitment to multilateral diplomacy remained high. Pakistan has served 7 times as non-permanent member of UN Security Council. The ongoing tensions between the two major players in the region, it is disappointing from Islamabad perspective to see the government in Delhi not respond to any of the peace overtures that government has made to India. No formal dialogue between India and Pakistan currently exists. Whatever the issues are between India and Pakistan, we need to talk, because no talks option is no option at all. There is now a firm international consensus that this war has to end. War in Afghanistan, and by a negotiated peace in Afghanistan, as we have seen limits of military actions with respect to the conflict in Afghanistan's neighboring country. The Quadrilateral Coordination Group, composed of representatives from Afghanistan, Pakistan and China, Pakistan, United States and China, had committed to undertake efforts to promote a peace process in Afghanistan. This should continue. This structure could have a benign impact on the speed of renewed diplomatic efforts. Thank you very much.